Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Brony Debates Live once again on this lovely Saturday evening. I hope you are all having a wonderful weekend so far. We're gonna see what we can find to talk about because we have nothing planned and only one tab left over from the last time we did this. So we're really
Why did you
flying
say
by
that?
the
I could have
seat
sent
of
you
our
like a million.
Okay, well, go ahead and send me $1 million then. Uh, so,
Get ready to be
um,
spammed.
yeah, I only just realized, what was going on a few minutes ago. Because as of always, it's been a busy Saturday and we got home, took a little bit of a break, started setting up, realized we were having all kinds of technical issues, and now we're here. But you all heard Heather going on. We got DJ with us once again. How you doing, DJ?
Hello, I have food.
Nice. What kind of food do you have?
I got a burger from Culver's and some pretzels.
Nice.
Culver's is good. That's a quality burger. I've got popcorn. I extra buttered it with some butter spray.
Yep. Alrighty then. Now then, let's see how many. Oh, Heather hasn't sent me anything yet, actually. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
give me a second, damn it.
we'll take your time. In the meantime, shout out to everybody who supports us on Patreon, especially on the $10 and up tier, such as Heather herself. There's also Shady, Autoknight, Emerald, Senko, DJ who's with us, Rain, Billy, Alden, Kanto, Alicia, StarChaser, VentureCorp, Willyzin, Icanus, Vulpecula, Jimmy, Yoshi, Aventicus, and Dark Malcontent. Check out those links in the description. Now then, we're gonna tab over here and see what we can see. And the first one we see is what games would princesses play? What video games would the princesses play? So far, we have an ad and one comment that says, Cadence would play every dating sim and get traumatized from DDLC.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
I was gonna guess that. That's all we get. Goodness gracious. Would Cadence play dating simulators?
I'm so on board for her doing that. Like, that's her fucking thing. Like, I think that'd be hilarious that's just like something she'd do, and she'd go down, like, replay the game, get every route, and take notes. Something else I would say is that Luna, I was all on board for Gamer Luna being a thing. We love it. And if we're taking that initiative, I feel like she would play the Soulsborne's games, but she would get the Dark Souls games that has that one character, Solaris, who worships the sun, and try to make Celestia play it just to meet the character. Like, look, there's a guy that worships you. Look.
That's
If anything, Celestia is a casual gamer, and you know what? If we're gonna give Cadence like the dating sims, I'm not gonna say she's like a mom gamer that only plays on her phone. So if we're gonna give that to anybody, Celestia is the mom gamer. She plays on her phone.
I think. Now you see, I'm halfway between Cadence playing dating simulators, or Cadence like cutting loose with something you would never expect, like Doom Eternal or something like that. Or
we just love that.
Or Cadence has like frickin' Nintendogs or like Barbie Horse Ranch or something like that.
No, the dress-up games, she would be a dress-up game, babe.
You think so?
Yeah, like, I actually loved those as a kid. They'd be ads. There were ads, and you could play with them while you were on MySpace, and I would do that while I watched a YouTube video and dress up a doll. Then they try to open a link, and I'd close it, be like, Mom will never know.
Alrighty then. But yeah, I don't know if Cadence would like dating simulators. It's definitely within her character, but it might also be too on the nose, and who knows? Sometimes characters have that like thing where they're just like Fluttershy with her death metal thing, that her black metal thing that she had for a second there in the Equestria Girls. You know, things like that you don't expect, or it's just so casual, so low energy, like really just about most of the things that Cadence does that you know, we're getting into like Nintendogs type territory, or some
Do you
kind
think
of
she
like,
played Farmville?
she probably would. Now the Luna. What game is Luna playing? Luna is a first-person shooter, in my opinion. Celestia.
She's totally played Shadow the Hedgehog.
Celestia is... I feel like Celestia is a retro gamer more than a casual. Like, I can see where you're coming from with the you know, being a mobile gamer, but I think she would be a retro gamer on the NES and Genesis and Atari and things like that. And then
You
we
know
got
what? That could work to the fact that she's like the oldest and wasn't banished for 1,000 years, so she was there for the development of video games and she's used to the older shit. Well, the other
Yeah.
two are newer to it and are just like, yeah, I'm playing the newest thing.
Like, Celestia would absolutely rock your frickin' dome in Battle Tetris, or like Mean Bean Machine, or Pong, or something like that. Let me see. We got some chat with some interesting theories here, but we got to get to that later.
Mine.
And Twilight, I still got to get to Twilight here. Twilight is either also playing Tetris, but like a newer version, or she's playing like some kind of open world game, maybe Skyrim.
You know, I actually disagree. I feel like she would be playing like Civilizations and stuff that's more strategic.
Yeah, I could see that too. Or she's playing Pokemon Go, because you need to make friends.
She's playing Mario Party with her friends.
No. Well, yeah, maybe Mario Party, but I gotta walk back that last statement now that I said it out loud and thought about it. Pinky is the one playing Mario Party and Pokemon Go. But Pinky's not a princess. And Flurry Heart is doing Fruit Ninja on... Flurry Heart is doing Fruit Ninja on Cadence's iPad.
Are you saying that frickin' Princess Cadence let her daughter become a frickin' iPad baby? Because she's like, shut up, I'm trying to play my visual novel. Play on your iPad, stupid kid. I'm the Alicorn of love, not good mothering.
Well, I mean, those almost go hand in hand now, don't they? But DJ,
you can
what
love
do you
someone
think?
and not be good for them.
I guess so.
Okay.
DJ, what do you think? What are the princesses playing?
Okay, so Twilight I'll get out of the way first. I agree with Heather. She's playing simulator games like Civ or The Sims.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
That's the vibe.
Fire Emblem at the most.
Totally. Actually, totally 100% with that.
I could see that too.
Cadence?
Something with a very heavy like magic system, or like or complicated. Freaking Final Fantasy for Twilight might be an idea.
Would Twilight play Magic the Gathering? I mean, I know we're talking about video games, but there's like arena for that. She totally would, right?
Yeah.
Considering her older brother, most likely.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because Prince Shining Armor probably introduced her to some shit, so she probably would play some fantasy shit.
He canonically does play Hocus Pocus the Get Together.
Yay!
Okay, so what
now,
else?
Cadence, I'm going to go off script a little bit. I'm going to say she plays RPGs, specifically ones that have romance options.
Ooh,
so she's
oh my god, Cadence!
Mass Effect or Dragon's Dogma or
Princess Cadence. Princess Cadence picked the bear in Baldur's Gate 3.
Because you gotta remember, she does have a bit of an adventure seeker in her from that episode with Discord. Like, she likes the slow stuff, but she likes being in the adventurer too.
Yeah. And who
Luna?
else we got?
Luna would play anything that is a competitive multiplayer.
Oh God, could you imagine
That could be anything from like the racing games to COD, Fortnite, anything that she can play with other people and win at.
Could you freaking imagine Luna in a COD voice chat lobby? She would become Nightmare Moon again. And then the slurs that they throw around in voice chat lobby might be more applicable than they realize. That was a real bad joke.
They're out here, Luna's out there throwing slurs I don't even remember ever existing.
You a Claude?
Now, Celestia, I'm also going to throw a curveball. She's like the grandmas that you see online who are playing the games you would least expect, like Skyrim or Assassin's Creed.
I love Skyrim.
I could picture Celestia sitting down to like Assassin's Creed, right? That an Assassin's Creed that's based in Equestria, and like nitpicking the architecture of Canterlot in the game.
Hello, my little ponies. Today we're on the hunt for the Pope.
Oh,
too soon?
I don't give a frick. What do you think I am,
finish
Catholic?
Off with Flurry Heart. Flurry Heart's out there playing like Bluey on Switch or the My Little Pony game.
Oh, she should be playing the Paw Patrol games.
Flurry Heart.
You know what? I'm gonna go classic. Cadence gave her Sesame Street games.
They're educational.
Flurry Heart could not be allowed to play the My Little Pony mobile game. She will run Cadence's credit card through the roof by the end of the day.
No, I was talking the console games.
The console games. I wasn't aware.
G5 had two. G5 had two on consoles.
Oh, okay.
I literally just bought them.
Are they any good?
Why?
Not really, but I figured I might as well have them in my collection.
Okay. Let's see what the chat has said. Cadence is the adrenaline junkie if the Friends Forever comic with Babseed and Rarity proves. Let's see here. Trent says Luna would be playing horror games. What else we got?
I can see that be like a night. Oh no, she's playing Dead by Daylight.
Princess Luna is a streamer.
Totally.
She'd
be daring other streamers to go on huntings with her.
Uwe Mazadl says, to me, Celestia would be the one playing Civilization or Sims games.
Would she, though? Because it's clear she doesn't really enjoy that stuff.
Celestia is playing frickin' Solitaire and Minesweeper on a frickin' Windows 95.
He's playing Microsoft Pinball.
Oh, that's past, when Celestia got into it. Let's see here. Rusty saying Twilight with the Fire Emblem or technical RPGs. Seven says reason why Luna would play Twist is because she would empathize with the reincarnated Disney villains' respective traumatizing backstories. Rusty saying Cadence plays Persona games.
Mm-hmm.
So DJ thinks Luna would play either League of Legends, but I do see her playing TF2 or any game. So, oh god, Luna in League of Legends. That's where she was during the freaking Canterlot invasion. Then she comes down at the end of the night and goes, "Did I miss anything?" She was off playing League of Legends. She was doing a freaking boss raid
only one game.
on World of Warcraft. It probably was only one game. And her whole team is dogging on her because she's got bad ping, like there's not a freaking invasion going on outside her window. Oh no, she can't hear us. She's got the noise canceling Beats by Dre.
No shit.
Let's see.
I can't see Luna playing WoW. That would totally be shining.
It
He is a
totally
dork.
would. Paladin wants to know, Heather, are you going to play the Elder Scrolls remake?
I really kind of want to. Yeah, I do want to. I really do.
Alrighty then. I will throw this question out there before we move on to the next one. Is because this one got left over from last week. It was in the chat. And what do you guys think of horror AUs in fan fiction, I guess?
I think
They're
it's
not
fun.
for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a taste thing, but I think it's fun. It's just people taking a thing they already liked, and we're just like, what if scary, though? I've really enjoyed the MLP infection AU stuff. It's been just like, I'll go down a rabbit hole of one particular person's AU on TikTok at least once a week. Like, people have come up with so many creative ideas for a zombie apocalypse to happen in Equestria. No way is exactly the same.
Yeah, there's the target audience for the horror Winnie the Pooh movies.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see them, but Brony said, you guys like horror movies.
But it's a whole cinematic universe. Bambi's next.
That's gonna be so crazy.
I'm gonna jump off a frickin' bridge. These people.
You always want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah, and these people who make these movies aren't helping.
What about the Grinch horror movie?
I don't frickin' know. I don't even know any of these things were into production.
The Grinch horror movie, I'm interested to see where that goes, because he was already, like, kind of not the best dude.
It already released like 2 years ago.
Really? How was it?
Same as the Winnie the Pooh movie, I guess.
I want to watch it.
I think it's out there on like Amazon or something. I think it's called like You're a Mean One or something.
Mean
one. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. All right, let's move on here. Are the crystal ponies made of crystals? I think I remember hearing that their coats and manes are crystalline, but am I crazy? They're a bit see-through, right? Maybe it's an animation error. Something like that is not an animation error, and you can see through here. And consistently throughout the series, they were a little translucent.
But only when the crystal heart was activated.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I feel like
normal
Twilight's
day-to-day,
coronation. I feel like at Twilight's coronation, we saw them like just being crystallized at Canterlot for no real reason. God, I loved how freaking Rarity was so thrilled by just what happened.
Yeah.
Also, where did Applejack's hat go?
She was
hyped
up.
Thing on her head.
She was hyped up about crystal ponies the whole freaking time. How about this? Everybody here got like a headband and accessories and or a new hairdo or everything like that. Shining Armor just got the gradient overlay.
Yeah, fuck men. Men don't get to look pretty.
Shining Armor got the pattern overlay in Photoshop and 90%
You know what?
opacity.
It could mean it can mean one of two things. Either it's just like fuck men, they don't get to look good, or like they're like he's just perfect the way he is. Don't need nothing.
Crystal Heart took it. What am I going to do with this?
I don't think they're actually made of crystal. I think, at least in this form, it's just an energy aura thing that's put out by that Crystal Heart. Normal-wise,
maybe they got crystals in their hair. Like little crystals that kind of coat their skin or whatever.
And make their entire bodies translucent?
They're not translucent
Magic!
all the time.
I guess so.
Anytime the Crystal Heart's not super powered up, they're not translucent.
Right, but that's...
Magic!
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what the comments
say.
So
even when the Crystal Heart is running normally, they're not translucent. It has to be supercharged.
Here's something to think about. You know how fucking Ember was eating Twilight's house because it was made out of like crystals and shit? Like, how do you think a dragon would react when you just put them in the Crystal Empire where everything's made of crystal and they're just like, oh my god, it's like being in a town made of gingerbread houses and shit.
Well, you see, the Crystal Heart The crystal, no, the comic was the dragons versus the yaks, I believe. I don't remember anything like that happening in the comics, but the crystal heart repels evil, so dragons wouldn't be allowed.
Wow, racist.
Remember from last
Damn
week,
it.
it's funny when I do it. Alrighty then, let's see here. Nobody laughs at my jokes anymore, gosh darn it. Y'all are frustrating.
No better ones.
I guess so. I'll try.
Hold.
They're supposed to be see-through. I think they are crystalline, but only when they go under the crystallization. So when the crystal heart turns everyone crystalline before Sombra, we see they are crystalline all the time, but post-Sombra they aren't. Maybe because the curse on the Kingdom of the Heart's not as strong as before. This would also explain how Flurry Heart was able to destroy it. These are just my speculations, though. What do you guys think about that?
It's a solid theory. We just don't have really anything to back it up other than, like, just what circumstances look like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, though. They've never had, like, alicorns in the kingdom, it seems, before Cadence, and then Flurry Heart showed up. And the fact that, I think the fact that Flurry broke it just is a testament to how fucking powerful alicorns are. All she did was scream. But an alicorn scream probably is a lot worse than we're thinking. Like, seemed to, like, physically hurt everyone around her.
It had, like, magic behind it. Resonated at the perfect, 0-point frequency to just absolutely undo that, that heart. Let's see here. If the only thing dragons eat are crystals, then these horses are made of crystal. If the food was sapient and would have conniptions of a mad boy trying to eat them, I can see why Spike doesn't want to eat the crystal ponies.
I mean, would you eat your fruit if it talked?
I have no idea.
That depends. Is it talking shit?
No, it's singing because it's a Muppet.
Is it annoying? I'll eat it.
Alrighty then. I think we've milked this one. This wasn't that great of a topic. Let's move on. Are the Earth ponies really at a disadvantage? Who wants to read this one? Because it's an essay.
No one's an Earth pony here. Let me try.
Oh, Heather, you technically count as an Earth pony.
Oh yeah, I was born as one. That's not how I identify anymore, though. But anyways, I was explaining to my dad, who knows nothing about MLP, what the 4 pony races are. Unicorns have horns, Pegasi have wings, alicorns have both, and Earth ponies have neither. He says, sounds like Earth ponies are at a disadvantage then. However, what I told him was clearly stated in A Heartwarming Tale. Only Earth ponies can grow food. The fact means that arguably they held the most power in that situation. The other races rely on them for food, which they obviously need to live. Applejack Smart Cookie simply scooped up a bit of dirt with their hoof, and a sprout immediately grew out of it. I have a headcanon that the things Pinky does that defy reality, include Pinky Sense, is because she is an insanely powerful Earth Pony. Like on the level of Twilight Sparkle and Starlight Glimmer in terms of Earth Pony magic. I think the way Treehugger tamed the Smooths when even Celestia couldn't was also an incredibly skilled and powerful use of Earth Pony magic. Their physical strength is off the charts. When Maud throws an enormous boulder, the others are astonished. How did you do that? I threw it. In an alternate reality, Maud also was able to smash against flying rocks to bits by hitting it, saving Rainbow Dash a Pegasus who presumably would have been crushed. However, it seemed that Earth ponies do have some disadvantages. Rainbow Dash beats Applejack in the Iron Pony competition by far because she used her wings to cheat, according to Applejack. Don't quote-unquote cheat. She did cheat, that cheating bitch. Anyways. Maud also alludes to these disadvantages in her stand-up comedy routine. Something along the lines of, it's not so bad being an Earth Pony. We can do things like pick stuff up with our mouths. Also, in Season 2, when they go through Discord's labyrinth, he takes away horns and wings so they don't cheat. But apparently he didn't care about Earth magic. Clearly they do have magic, or else Tyrek wouldn't have been able to drain power from them. Scroll a little. I've also noticed that people in the fandom never want to make their OCs as Earth ponies. So what do you think? Do the advantages of Earth ponies balance out the disadvantages? Are they equally as powerful as other races? Are they underprivileged? I'm not sure on this, but I don't think they're as much of an underclass as people tend to believe. Well, if we go off G5 stuff, like the Earth pony magic got a real boost, and it's like all plant-based.
G5 isn't canon, but I will say this. The Earth ponies cannot just, grow food. Like, they might have a connection to the Earth, but they still have to have a talent for it, and not everybody's talent is in growing food. But even so, they might have a better connection to the Earth, but they even said in Hearthswarming, they still relied on the Pegasus tribe to control the weather so that they could grow the food, and they still relied on the unicorns to move the day and night so that they could grow the food. And the cost of, those services from the unicorns and Pegasi was a significant portion of their food. So, we grow the food, you other two make it so that we can grow the food, and in exchange we give you the food. But then,
I think that
the whole war broke out because they were taking too much.
I think the problem was that the weather, they couldn't control it anymore, and so Earth ponies couldn't grow a lot of food, and so they kept whatever food they had for themselves. I will say, though, we've seen time and time again that Earth ponies have been shown to be very strong. Like, not to say that, like, Pegasi or unicorns can't achieve this as well, but, like, I have not seen anyone do the feats that, like, say, the Apple family does. Like, apple bucking, Applejack using, like, when in Mysterious Mare-Duel, when she stopped the whole cart with her very strong freaking legs. And freaking, and then Big Mac is a big one, too. Like, dude was able to pull an entire house. That is, like, not something a lot of ponies can do. Yeah, he was under the things of a love potion, but, like, I don't think the love potion made him any stronger. That's just how strong that freaking guy is, and I've yet to see a pony of any of the other races display that kind of strength. So I always, like, along with the connection to the Earth thing, I always assumed that Earth ponies just had more strength naturally, physically.
Remember when, the Crusaders had a classmate that picked up the schoolhouse for a second there in order to, like, reach a ball? It was like a split second thing during
super
Crusaders. Yeah, Crusaders of the Lost Mark, where Diamond TR's like, I've got blackmail material on all of you. You're a freak. Why are you so strong? While this little girl is lifting up the schoolhouse one-handed.
Was she an Earth pony?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's a little bit of something.
Which is a side tangent here. If someone can one-hand a building off the ground, why the frick would you insult her? That chick will launch you into orbit.
Yeah, she's gonna kick your ass.
Because power and manipulation.
She knows she's emotionally not stable, but in a sad way, like she's sad all the time.
All right, well, check this out. Paladin says, Brony, you and me need to talk about the magic system of MLP in a debate at some point. Frickin' there's a link in the description. Discord, very top of the description. Click it. Come on in. It's not like it hasn't been there for a year. So let's see here. I think they're well balanced, but what I have but yeah, I'd say Earth ponies do get underestimated a lot. And there was a joke that was floating around the fandom for a while of, we never really had an Earth pony villain. I don't know if Gladmane counts. He didn't really do a whole lot other than, shady business practice. Yeah. And he never really like put all of Equestria in danger. And the joke was like, oh yeah, there's never been an Earth pony villain because it's like, the Earth pony villain have, acquired the magical MacGuffin that will let me rule Equestria, and then a unicorn just telekinetically grabs it out of his hand and goes, no, bad. And there's nothing he can do about it. But in terms of the...
Caballeron was an Earth Pony, wasn't he? Caballeron?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Kinda
an
counts.
Earth Pony. Yeah. I don't know if he was working with Alwizodal there in that one episode there during
Alwizodal's just
Don't, I
a whole
believe.
other thing.
And Alwizodal was trying to destroy Equestria for a second. So he was kind of working with that, but he wasn't like directly causing it or trying to do that. He was just like, hey, there's a lot of money if I give Alwizodal this golden ring, and that's all Caballeron ever cared about. He just wanted the money. Hey, here's another sidebar question for you guys. Should I be pronouncing that name as Caballeron, or should I say Caballeron like they do in the show?
Do they say it like that? It's a Hispanic name, and two L's make the Y sound. Caballeron.
Exactly.
Caballeron.
That's why I say Caballeron, but in the show they say Caballeron. And
These
I don't know how
white ass honkies.
I don't know. Well, all the Canadian, all the voice actors and voice actresses are Canadian, but I don't know how nobody.
They've never seen a Mexican in their life, let alone.
I don't know.
They don't know what those are.
All these writers, though, like most of the writers were from LA, and nobody called them on that. Like nobody on their new Spanish. Frickin' Pinky was singing in Spanish at one point.
Yeah, for the Pinata song. I don't know. I don't know. I never noticed. Maybe I just filtered it out. Oh, excuse me.
You know, I will say this though. I do remember like talking to someone else who was Hispanic when that episode aired, and I'm like, what are they saying in Spanish there? And he goes, listen, man, even I had trouble understanding her because her pronunciations are so bad. I was like, oh frick.
Jeez.
So,
well, no one's getting it right.
Yeah, well, DJ, what do you think about the balance of the races of the ponies?
Honestly, I think it's kind of remained balanced. I mean, sure, TV show wise, it was easy to manipulate in the final episode, but like, really, they seem to just balance each other out. I can't see one being above all other than just jealousy for being able to fly and use magic. But as we've seen with G5, Earth Pony magic can very well extend to something if they just bothered to go further into it. Which that's why I appreciate a lot of fan fictions that do show that Earth Pony magic has many different applications.
I read a fan fiction of a fan fiction that went into this. You guys remember Past Sins?
Yeah,
Sins.
I have a hard
someone
back copy of it on the shelf out here.
Yeah, of course. And someone made a fan fiction of Past Sins about like Nyx and the family taking a trip to the Crystal Empire, and they tackle the issue of race in the Crystal Empire because if you realize the Crystal Ponies are all technically kind of Earth Ponies. You don't see a lot of unicorns amongst them. So like they tackled that issue in a very interesting way.
I think I know the exact one you're talking about.
I hope you do because I'm
used
sure
I can go under the name Reality Check.
It might be. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I looked at it, but it's a fan fiction I remember. If I go on my fanfiction account, I'm sure I can find it because I favorited it. I enjoyed it. I actually am an idiot. I didn't realize it wasn't by the same person who wrote Past Sins because it was just like a pretty well written thing. So I thought, oh man, this person went a whole different direction. Like this is an interesting thing they did. But it's like, no, actually, the person who wrote Past Sins did all this, and I read that, and I'm like, oh, okay. So this was someone making a fan fiction of a fan fiction.
Yeah, Past Sins was Penstroke, I believe.
Yeah, this was a different person. I didn't realize it until I was
this
like
writer
almost
went
done. I was
went
like,
to a different route with it, since I believe in that one, Nyx is technically biologically related to Twilight, where Past Sins said that no, they're not.
That's weird. But I will say, to warning to those who are like interested in the fanfic I'm talking about that was a fanfic of Past Sins by someone else. It's great. Fair warning, the person is a Sparity shipper, but like, you know, in the best way, I guess.
Hey,
Interesting.
nothing wrong with
What
that.
about you? What about you, Heather? What do you think about the balance of the races here?
I thought I said my thoughts a little bit. I'm just saying, like, I always thought they were naturally physically strong. Now, there's only so much you can do with that. I know we like to think of like unicorns being the intellectual types out of all the ponies, and maybe to
Yeah.
some degree they're supposed to be because you got to learn magic and stuff. But I think like with if you have good balance in terms of intelligence, I think any of the races could become a force to reckon with, because it just takes like a few earth ponies being particularly smart and then having like the backing power of a whole bunch of other earth ponies that are physically strong to make a significant impact. Now that's somewhat true for the rest of the races as well, but yeah, I think there's, don't get me wrong, when you look at it initially it looks kind of like disadvantageous. That's why so many people don't want earth pony OCs. People want to be like, oh, my OC can fly. Oh, my OC has magic, because they kind of like made it like Hogwarts houses. Because you have certain characteristics, that means you have to be this specific thing. Like with Hogwarts, you know, smart people go to Ravenclaw, brave people go to Gryffindor, you know, silly people go to Hufflepuff. They made it the same kind of thing. Unicorns, if you're a smart intellectual type, which everyone who watches My Little Pony thinks they are, they're all going to choose their OCs to be unicorns.
That's why analysts are unicorns more often than not.
Yeah, and then some people think they're more athletic than others, and I guess they attribute athleticism to Pegasi because, you know, Rainbow Dash was kind of the athlete, but more of like the cardio based. We didn't get a lot of Earth ponies because all people saw was like physically strong, just a regular horse.
They didn't even really see the physically strong part until later seasons in the fandom.
Yeah. But that's just what it was. People assign personality traits to certain races, and they're like, well, I'm obviously an intellectual, so I must be a unicorn, or I'm a little more sporty, so I'm obviously a Pegasi, and no one wanted to be an Earth pony.
All right, let's move on then. Let's see here. Do you consider Snips and Snails to be the most annoying characters in the entire franchise? No, I do not.
Now,
who is the most annoying character in the entire franchise?
I don't know, Starlight?
On average, I'd say Pinky.
Sometimes, but I find her more funny than not. I'm annoyed by Rainbow Dash a lot sometimes.
Rainbow Dash can be a close second. I'm trying to think of side characters. Trying to think of side characters where every time they showed up, I was just, oh god, get off the screen. But what do you think about Snips and Snails?
You're like that with Trixie.
Yes!
You think that way about Trixie.
Thank you for reminding me that Trixie existed. I had repressed her in my memory. Holy frick, you're right. But yeah, go ahead, Heather.
This is what I think of. This is what I think of Snips and Snails. They were made kind of to be annoying, but I think Snips is honestly more annoying than Snails. Snails is just like a doofy dude. You could get used to him the way you would get used to Shaggy or something like that, kind of in the same vein. I don't like Snips because I've seen kids like Snips and I've seen what they grow into. Like, he's a gross kid. I can already tell. He probably smells like cheese.
He reminds me too much of Eddie.
Yeah, but then he's gonna turn into a teen, and you know what kids like him like turn into teens? They turn like even like gross in a different way. And I'm just thinking of that, and I'm just like,
like gross and
I just know what he is
appropriately with every girl they see, but with no physical or personality charm of their own type of way.
Yeah, like I knew the guy who would have been Snips in high school. Freaking, he was in the computer club. He was like kind of a dick, but we try to kind of just laugh it off. And he would like literally, this isn't okay, and it's kind of fucked up. He did that. He would flick me and my friend's breasts all the time. Like he'd flick them, like where our nips were, and it's just like, dude, stop it. Dude, stop it. I think Snips is the tit flick guy.
That's the type of dude that gets into frickin' that goes down the Andrew Tate rabbit hole as a
I would not be
teenager
surprised
and never
if he
recovers.
did. I would not be surprised if he did. And he tried to ask me out. I didn't know how to say no because I was in a teen that didn't know. But what I did say was like, I'll have to find some time. And I tried to like brush him off and like, take a hit, man. And he's like, just tell me if you don't want me. And I'm like, okay, I don't want you. And that was the end of it.
Ha! Get wrecked, loser.
He ended up dating one of my friends for a little bit. Was not good for her. He ended up he asked me first and then he asked every one of my friends until somebody was like sad enough to say yes. So sad.
Oh, that sucks. And he was no good for her?
They did not last long. I don't know the details, but they did not last long.
The closest I ever got to that was when I was in high school and prom came up. I think it was junior year, and they'd be like, everybody would come up to me, the week of the prom and be like, "Hey, who are you going with?" And I'd be like, "I don't know." And I would turn to, and as a joke, I would turn to the closest girl and go, "Hey, first name Blair, do you want to go to prom?" And she's like, "Nah, I'm taken." I'm like, "Cool. Guess I'm not going to prom, right?" And I did that the entire 2 weeks leading up to prom, and I always found it hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's definitely fine. At least you weren't flicking people's tits.
Yeah. No, I never did that. I never did that. But
yeah, I would kick your ass if you did that. That's not cool.
what
Especially
about
teen
you?
girls.
What about, well, I was a teenager at the time. Not that makes it any better, but it's, I guess, less bad in a way. Anyway, DJ, what do you think about all this?
Most annoying. Snips and snails are definitely not the most annoying. They don't have enough screen time to be, especially since Snail's got some of the best characterization we've ever seen.
Yeah, I like how zen he was in the Buckball episode, Buckball season.
He's like their Michelangelo.
So let's put it this way. I suppose
the most annoying would probably be Diamond Tiara.
Yeah, that's certainly in there, but I can at least understand Diamond Tiara to a certain extent because of where she comes from. And she's a kid, she'll probably grow out of it type of thing, especially since she got set on the right direction during Crusaders of the Lost Mark. However, Spoiled Rich does not have an excuse. So there's Spoiled Rich. Now, who is the most annoying character? We got Spoiled Rich, we've got Trixie, we got Mudbriar.
Oh, come on, everyone likes Sheldon.
Nobody likes Sheldon. And anybody who says they like Sheldon is a liar.
But Sheldon's the one that got a spinoff.
I don't care.
Everyone loved Sheldon enough to watch him as a kid.
Sheldon is fun in certain situations. He's annoying a good deal of the time. I love
we'll
Mod.
find out. They're doing a Big Bang Theory revival.
Mod and Mudbriar are meant to be kind of similar characters. Why is it we like one but we hate the other? Is it purely because he's dating Mod, or does he just hit different?
All right, let me put it this way. DJ. I have a Sheldon in my life, right? He was my groomsman with the white sword. I don't want to say his name on air, right? He was the groomsman with the white sword. That guy raises my blood pressure with his frickin' snark when we're trying, when we're trying to get stuff done. Just being in vicinity of me. That's what being friends with Sheldon is like.
I know his name. It's Pwned by Plywood.
I guess that's one way to say it, yeah. But frickin' yeah, Heather, what do you think of the options that I gave?
I could definitely see it from a certain perspective. I guess my most annoying character, if we're just if we're saying not someone you seemingly hate like Starlight, but someone you just find annoying and just kind of hate, That would most definitely be Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash gets on my nerves all the time with her stupid shit. Like, she doesn't know when to fucking stop. She's had to have that twice, like Mysterious Mare Duel and that fucking cookie episode. What was it? Like 800 Days Later or something?
28 pranks later.
Yeah, she has a constant problem of like not knowing when to like, let things go, or just that kind of shit. Like, that always got on my nerves. And then she would be like a dick to her own friends on occasion, just for like petty shit. Like, I know no filter is usually funny, but like no filter in like, hey, can you be like not an asshole to your own friends? That kind of shit. Obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, have some self-control. That kind of shit. So I guess I find Rainbow Dash the most annoying.
Alrighty then. So, let's see what these comments say real quick, and then we actually gotta wrap this up so that we have time to get ready for the next stream. Heather and I are gonna play some more Mass Effect. And I know that Paladin did manage to get into the server, so we'll try again next week maybe to get him on and have the conversation about the magic system. I'll be looking forward to that. Let's see here. What the heck is he talking about in the chat though? Sorry, Brony, is not your side. It's mine. Discord just won't work. I saw you're in the server. Now, here's the thing, Paladin. I have to give you the permissions to see and then enter the on-air chat, right? So that's a role that I give out when I'm ready for you to come on the show. And since we got to wrap this up here, we can't get to it today. But try to figure out your Discord in the meantime. But real quick, let's see these comments here. Yeah, they were intentionally written that way. Brain dead joke characters. Pretty dumb, but they're not sparky. Yeah, we stand for the Gen 5 hate in this dojo. That's the whole point of their characters. Let's see. I don't really have anything to add to this. Should we just wrap it up?
Probably.
Alrighty then. Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in. I hope you had fun. We're going to be hanging out again in just a few minutes to play some more Mass Effect, so I hope you'll stick around for that. And then, Heather, what are you doing on your stream tonight?
Chaos and Crochet. We're going to look at some memes. I had so many submissions this week, so there's going to be so much.
I have a lot of submissions, too.
Memes.
Yeah. And how about you, DJ? What are you doing the rest of the night?
I haven't decided yet. We'll see what happens.
I think you should go outside and get some exercise.
The sun's already set.
I think you should go outside and get some exercise.
No.
Gosh darn it. I can't.
You go exercise in your own yard. It's already night there.
Well, maybe I will. And I'll take you with me, and we'll both go outside and get some exercise together, since you're obviously a wuss who's afraid of the dark.
Ew, Florida.
You do live in frickin' Nebraska. Y'all got the children of the corn out there.
Not at the moment. There's no corn planted yet.
All right, so it's just the children.
Isn't that scary?
Ew,
enough?
Children. Disgusting.
All right, thanks everybody who tuned in. I hope you had fun. We'll see you again in a few minutes. Stay safe, God bless, and we'll see you then. Say goodnight, everybody.